devices. So I'm going to use my pen. So if I kind of do this, Nancy knows I might want to interrupt or ask a question, and Nancy has her pen that has blossomed into a yellow flower. So that's a signal for me too to say, let's kind of let me in and let's have a chance to catch up on what we were talking about, what the thought was. So now I'll let Nancy say a few words about herself, so then we can kind of plunge, into the unknown with each other. So Nancy, would you like to speak a few words about yourself?
Thank you, Glenn, for this wonderful opportunity to share with you what our experiences are, our discoveries. I am Nancy Havera. I am a certified practice group leader, certified trainer, and newly certified healer. Thanks to Glenn and Katrina for your guidance on that. I'm very, very fulfilled with that accomplishment. I've been practicing for many, many years, Spring Forest Qigong, and it has completely changed my life. As Glenn and I were going back and forth a little bit as we prepared for this presentation, we discussed some images as we were working with the unknown, the topic of the unknown, and I shared with him that one of the first visuals that came to me when I signed up for Spring Forest Qigong Level 1 with Master Chuni Lin in 2007 was that I was standing at the edge of a vast canyon on the rim. And I couldn't see the opposite rim. I couldn't see the bottom. And I actually didn't know anything about Qigong. I couldn't pronounce it. I couldn't remember Master Lin's name. It just seemed very strange to me. It was unknown. And so I also have to share with you that I have a little bit of a fear of heights. So standing on the rim of a canyon, for me, would be very terrifying. That doesn't mean I can climb a ladder, I can sit on a roof, I can fly on an airplane, but standing on the rim of a canyon is scary. But what Master Lin gave to me that day at the beginning of my journey, the first step of really not just 1,000 miles, but tens of thousands of miles, was to give me confidence to step off the edge of that canyon and know that I would be supported in my journey through this impossible journey through thin air to the opposite rim, not going down to the bottom and then going back up to the top, but actually going through the air. And I revisit that image quite often. It gives me a lot of comfort that each time I learn something new, I feel that I can do it. There's no need. Oh, yes, it's okay to be fearful and nervous. Glenn.
In one sense, as you say that, Nancy, it's kind of like you're standing on the edge of that canyon and the unknown is in front of you. But see, what you know is that I'm afraid of heights. What I know is I'm a little bit scared. What I know, see, there are a lot of things as you're standing on that edge of the cliff, edge of that canyon. So all those things that are actually preparing you for either you take the step forward into the canyon, into the abyss, into whatever, but you're not losing yourself in one way. So yes, these are the qualities that I have in my life now. Perhaps if I take a step or two into that unknown, maybe some of my fear may be reduced. Maybe some of my fear might be a little bit tweaked. I too did some research. Nancy and I talked before, we went on just to get coordinated. So I went online and say define unknown, and there were so many sentences that were so fear related. The unknown is fearful. The known is about stress. The unknown is about all those things. And then in our previous, talk conversations. I loved it when Nancy said to me, let's not highlight that fear part because the unknown really has so many potentials for growth. Has a purpose of its own. So I said, yeah, we could talk about, the fear of facing a tiger or the fear of, all those dramatic kinds of unknowns, but the subtleties of everyday life. So like every teaching opportunity, every time you learn something, you have faced the unknown. I don't know this. And now Nancy has taught me, now I know this. So there's so many levels and strengths of the word unknown. Does that make sense, Nancy?
Yes, I think it makes perfect sense to me. I want to give a definition, a summary definition of the unknown. Yes, you, Glenn, researched it from a point of view probably of mental health in some ways, and the unknown is very fearful for us from that point of view. But these are just some dot points that I came up with from the
Yeah.
dictionary and other sources. So that doesn't mean the dictionary has the last word in it. But unknown is what is not known. I don't think that's a very good definition personally as a language teacher, but we can expand on it. It's not within the range of an individual's knowledge or experience or understanding. Okay, well, there's a lot of things that are not within the range of our understanding, but that doesn't mean we have to be crippled by it. The unknown is also strange and mysterious, but if we block ourselves from experiencing strange and mysterious events or circumstances, then we fail to enrich our lives. The unknown is also unfamiliar. It's not identifiable, nor can it be ascertained. Well, I'm not sure I agree with that. That's just a definition. It's not established or verified. It is something that is not discovered or explored. I'll come back to that. But my final point, and this was one of the points that you mentioned, Glenn, in our earlier discussion, was that in mathematics, it's a quantity of an unknown numerical value. And so we have an equation, for example, 2 plus x equals 5. X, therefore, is the unknown. But it's an unknown that we can strive to bring into our knowledge field by working through the problem. And we have a vast unknown. I mean, I think most of what we experience in our lives is more associated with the unknown than the known. So if we're afraid to go into the unknown or to work with it, then we block ourselves from exploration and discovery and learning and growing.
So the idea of the importance, of the unknown for our own personal growth, to find a balance to that sense of, here's what I know, and then, the unknown can bring me into territories that will give me a different perspective of something, a different insight in something. I know all of us can be shaped by the circumstances in our life that are unknown. Some sort of a surprise happens to us. Some sort of accident maybe happens to us. The unknown, what's going to happen now, could be embraced by fear. But overall, the idea about the unknown is the importance of being comfortable that there are things in our lives that are unknown to us that actually may help shake our own complacency, maybe shake our own limiting ourselves, may shake our belief system about something. So sometimes walking into that unknown kind of shakes us a little bit to say, take another look, take another look, take another look. Nancy, you were talking about the strength or the foundational work of Qigong, Spring Forest Qigong. So maybe could you talk more about how, if I'm facing the unknown, that I'm not doing this, so to speak, alone? It's just me by myself?
Yes, that was when this phrase first came up. Master Jerry Wellick brought it up in a Zoom call, and it was a phrase of being comfortable with the unknown was something he had gotten from Master Gadu. And at the very moment that he spoke those words, I thought this was exactly what I needed to hear, because I was struggling with some unknowns, with needing to make decisions, with needing to make commitments. And I asked myself, how do I become comfortable with the unknown so that I don't have to be stuck or paralyzed? And I thought, well, goodness, I have a rich, rich, rich foundation from Spring Forest Qigong. What do we all know? We know the password. And we say, I am in the universe is in my body, the universe and I come together. Or we change the password to suit our own personal experiences. I am in compassion. Compassion is in me. Or even we could say I am in emptiness, and emptiness is me, because there are empty spaces within us that invite exploration. And the second key is to call on our masters. So when we call on our master, we're never alone. We just remember we're never alone, but then when we call on that support, we know that we are never alone. Master is always beside us, within us, supporting us. And so there's no need to feel a sense of abandonment, or maybe even concern about getting lost in something. So we have that. And then I have found the greatest strength to come from the 5 elements. Now, obviously, I don't know everything there is to know about the 5 elements, but the fact that they are present, patiently present, always in our daily lives, giving us the opportunity to experience happiness, joy, peace, contentment, and gratitude, that just builds up such a strong, strong, strong foundation. So that was where I started with the known. And it has shifted a lot of things for me personally, especially when I come to a point where I have to make a decision. I'm uncertain, I'm confused, I'm overwhelmed. I go to the known, the password, calling on my master, and working with the 5 elements.
That helps you like move into the unknown in a way.
It does.
This knowledge will help me move into what I do not know. So even as we look at what Master Lin has taught us, if we all know, the value and the purpose and the power of the sword fingers and the power of detecting, in some way, when we sit next to someone or someone sits close to us or further away, when I do my detecting on someone, I'm detecting what? The unknown. I do not know what is occurring inside the vibration, inside the energy of this individual being in front of us. So how can I detect the unknown? I detect by what? Feeling the blockages, feeling the flow of the energy. So the more I understand the flow of energy in someone, then that person's difficulty, the symptom, becomes known to me. So it's a technique of what? Discovering the unknown and moving then into the known.
Mm-hmm.
And then when Master Lin talks about, developing your compassion, your unconditional love, your empathy, actually these qualities of having empathy, compassion, unconditional love, it takes you where? Into the unknown of someone else's life. So compassion and empathy takes you into places, either individually or into the community, takes you into places of unknown. And so the power, the support of empathy, the depth of compassion, the depth of, the whole thing of unconditional love, the letting go, connecting to the master, actually, it does lead us into the unknown in order to what? Make things known to that person or make things known to the community. So I love just the simplicity of the SFQ and how it guides us really into the known. So then it becomes a purpose in our life to kind of continue to explore the unknown in so many different ways. Do you have thoughts, Nancy, about how uh, that being comfortable with unknown is a part of our own growth, as opposed to I just want to stay here with what I know and I like vanilla ice cream and I'm not going to have anything else. That's it.
I think if we say that I'm going to stay in my little circle of comfort, sphere of comfort, and just stick with that vanilla ice cream, it limits us. It really essentially imprisons us in one point of view. And so my big thing is when I go into the schools, especially, is inviting the teachers, the students, and staff to shift perspective. That, yes, we have things that we know and that we're comfortable with. Maybe I prefer to write with a pen that has a flower on it over a pen that's, and then it would have to have black ink too. Let's be real rigid about that. over any old pen or a pencil or a marker or a crayon that I can use to write my notes. And it can be any color. Isn't that much more expansive and offers the opportunity to explore and discover and have fun and not just be stuck in one point of view? That always there's a bigger picture. Always, whether we're standing on the rim of a canyon or we're on the planet Earth looking out into space. There's that bigger picture and we're part of it. And in this bigger picture, we have a soul purpose that guides us to move into the unknown and to learn things, to serve ourselves in the world in fulfilling the mission of Spring Forest Qigong, a healer in every home, a world without pain and suffering, and to fulfill also what our personal soul purposes are, which we may not remember, but the fact is that we have a soul purpose and it can give us strength and courage and comfort at whatever point we are in the unknown. But to have no interaction with the unknown is a sad life, I think. And I don't think that's what we want.
Yeah. I hear you talking about actually having a relationship with the unknown. It is like being comfortable with the unknown can be stagnant. I'm comfortable with my vanilla ice cream, but if I have a relationship and engaged, involved, interconnected relationship with the unknown by itself is always then prompting me challenging me in one way. If I have a relationship with complacency, it just says, just live that life, just stay there. But when I have a relationship with unknown, it has that vibration of itself that challenges us to continue to look. We've talked about, there was an image that you would use as we talked about different things of a child going out into a green field, and sees this yellow flower and wants to explore that flower. Are there dangers? Could there be a bear? Could there be something? Could there be something? However, it's almost like that yellow flower in the green field is what, engaging us. It's a relationship to finding out more. It's enticing. It's, seducing us, so to speak. So it's always a pull. The unknown is always a pull, into something that maybe our human quality says, I'm not so sure.
Well, going back to that image of the child in the meadow for the first time, imagine a 2-year-old who has not had the opportunity to go into a meadow. And we will assume that the child is not just wandering out there unsupervised. There is support behind the child to make sure that the child is safe. But what motivates the child? Curiosity, the desire to explore, the desire to interact with that previously unknown environment. And for the first time, maybe the child is feeling under his or her bare feet grass and having that experience that had never occurred before. And then hearing bird songs that maybe the child had not previously experienced. But the support behind the child knows that and is inviting the child to explore this new environment to become bigger, a bigger self. And these are things that the child will have to learn eventually anyway. And then just seeing a yellow flower for the first time, or of any color, and just interacting with that unknown, with smell and taste and touch and even listening to the flower, that a child can do so much more easily than an adult, because the child is so much closer to source than we are. As adults, we forget that. The child, although he or she may not be able to articulate the experience, knows the sole purpose that they came into the world with, and has an ongoing conversation with source, which some adults, I think, we've gotten away from that so much that we've forgotten, and what used to be known to our soul and is always known to us on the soul level, we have forgotten, and now we categorize it as unknown. So yes, I think the getting back to your statement, I think known, there's a chi of unknown. There's a chi of known. Of course, chi is intelligent energy. So I think, yes, the chi of the unknown is pulling us to it so that we can be better people, better healers, better teachers, just good, better, best at whatever we do, and learn that as well.
So even the title of this series, The Heart Wisdom, it's like letting the wisdom of the heart pull us into the wisdom, pull us into something that we don't know yet. And it's through the heart that perhaps the greatest wisdom comes. So that child, for the first time experiencing, the grass on their feet or smelling that flower, now it's kind of ingrained in them. Now I have an experience with this unknown, and now I'm going to build on that wisdom. And maybe, the grass is now greener on the other side, but maybe there's more things to explore. Maybe there's more things to learn. Then you begin to have that wisdom. So there's always the limitations of what our brain can do. You know, he wants to explore the unknown, but the greatest power of the unknown is really through the heart. You know,
Mhm.
the allowing the source kind of what? You know, invite us into the unknown, invite us into that deeper unknown. There might be a fear if I meditate and I go into a deep meditation and I connect with this higher, I won't get back. Oh, I'll be out there forever. I'll not find my way. You know, that's that fear, you know. And so that connection to a deeper meditation, to that unknown, so almost like every time we meditate, close your eyes, drop our shoulders, we are then inviting ourselves in our heart to go into the unknown. It might be that, you know, distractions, you know, when I'm meditating, oh, I'm thinking about this, oh, I'm thinking about that. Maybe the distraction is saying, I don't want to go into the unknown. You know, I want to distract myself. I want to pay attention to my distractions. Oh, the unknown is, but you know, as you know, Nancy, when you settle down from those distractions, you do go into places, you know, in your heart that is really unknown to you, that gives you a different sense of your own purpose, a different sense of your own growth, you know, a connection to that support that you're talking about, connection to the source. So in everyday life, you know, invites us in. You have other thoughts that
So,
bounce around inside you?
talking about that heart wisdom, I think when we start with the heart knows. The heart is where the spirit, the yin energy, and the soul, which is always pure, connect for us to be the most powerful healers that we can be, the, the most powerful positive people that we can be. And the heart knows what needs to be done and what can be done. And so, in essence, it's the voice of the heart that is pushing us to go to that rim, to that edge, and to step off and know that we're not going to fall. We may fly, or we may be able to walk through that, that air. It seems to our brain, oh, that's impossible. We can't do it. We can't do it. Oh no, no, it's not only we're going to be lost in meditation so deep we can never come back, we're going to go dropping to the bottom of that canyon and splat. We don't want that. But our heart knows that we have the ability to step off and move forward slowly and gently and find so many treasures, find so much information. We always need information. We always need information. So we have, as Spring Forest Qigong practitioners, I think, the responsibility to trust and to seek that information, however it presents itself to us, and to overcome worry and fear that, oh, this bad thing's going to happen to me. The bear's going to attack if I go into the meadow, or the bottom's going to drop out if I step off the rim. We don't have to be that way because we're Spring Forest Qigong practitioners. We can be comfortable with the unknown and give us strength. I want to share one, you know, I think many people who are listening to this know that I am the moderator, the administrator on the distance healing practice call on Facebook. And so we got lots and lots of requests, and see if I can find this one. I have trying to be talk about the known, the unknown. I brought a lot of papers with me, and now I can't find what I'm looking for. Okay, I'll just quote it from my heart. And this person wrote in and said, "Please help me." every cell of my body is filled with fear. And I was just so touched by this request to, first of all, to be able to admit that every cell of her body was filled with fear, and then to have the strength to reach out and ask for help. And of course, the group came together and sent her the energy that she needed to start a journey out of that fear, which she knew. Actually, that was something she knew and was kind of stuck in. But she wanted to go out and move away from it into something she didn't know what it was. And she felt that energy that we sent to her, that positive energy. It's just remarkable being part of that group and seeing how it works, the power. And we never know who's going to make requests, what their requests are, or many, many, many times we don't know the outcome of what happens. So that's unknown. But does that stop us from being healers? And then a few days later, she sent a response saying, "Thank you. I really felt this, and I am moving out of the fear into a better place." A shift of perspective. Oh, it was just such a beautiful experience. And this person is unknown to me, and I am unknown to her. And all the other people in the group, we don't necessarily, most of us haven't ever met. But that unknown factor of the power of prayer coming together and helping this one person, this was just one example. It was extremely, extremely powerful. I felt very grateful for this experience.
You know, it is such a, I don't mean a beautiful story. It's a really a touching of lives and a touching of hearts. So, but in one sense too, this woman says, you know, here's what I know. Every cell of my body is full of fear. And she knows that. So that's her knowing. It's reliable. It's familiar with her, so to speak. And she's saying, but I don't know beyond that. And so then the group, and you know, you, Nancy, then you took her where? Into her unknown. And now she knows more. You know, the fear is diminished and this has been altered, and I can feel the energy. Now she took that risk in one way to write in, to declare what's happening in her life, seek out the support to enter a world of unknown, to be comfortable in a way with that unknown, trust the unknown. And then from that unknown, now she thinks she has what? More things that she knows. So it is that beautifulness of people knowing things, and then how do they move into the unknown? And I think what you do in that healing group about support, about the connection to each other, so we're not alone in the unknown. But it helps us to move forward. Oh, please.
The same thing is true that she came in with knowing something and not knowing, dealing with the unknown. But the healers in the group, which is every member of the group, because we were all born healers, this gave us an opportunity ourselves to work with the unknown. Well, how do we help this woman? What do we do? What words and feelings and images can we provide to her? What prayers can we say? And so then it comes back to us to trust. This is one of the things that the Master Lin says frequently, is to relax, trust, and feel. So I think the people who responded to this woman relaxed in the unknown, because we don't know everything. And then we trusted. We trusted in the universe. We trusted in our masters. We trusted in our soul purposes. We trusted in the 5 elements to work to help us all help each other in the healing process, and we felt it.
So, Nancy, are you saying if the title of this talk is Be Comfortable with the Unknown, that everyone in that group are comfortable in the unknown? They have that trust, they have that commitment, they have that, connection with each other as they journey together into this unknown, person after person after person. We're willing to take that journey to be comfortable with the unknown.
I think that we all are learning to be comfortable with the unknown. I don't know that we reach the absolute comfort zone, but we are learning. So to me, that's very helpful and helpful.
I think I had an image we talked about, a while ago. If I was going to enter into a cave, I might say, what am I going to put in my backpack? What do I think I need? Do I need rope? Do I need a flashlight? It's almost like I'm preparing the trip out of what I know. I might need light. I might need a rope. But those are all known things. I may not use them, but I'm preparing myself for what I know could happen. But I'm not putting into my backpack what I don't know. So now I'm preparing myself for a healing or a journey with what? Here's what I know. I have the support, and now I need to be comfortable and aware of what I don't know, and really what the unknown is going to teach me about myself and about my world around me.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
So it sounds like you do a wonderful job in that group about equipping people to be comfortable, with the unknown. You don't go, oh my gosh, what's going to go on? What's going to go? Oh my goodness, oh my. I haven't seen you do that once.
Well, I just don't put that on video.
Yeah.
No, thank you for those kind words and that vote of confidence. But it's an ongoing learning experience. I would like to share one Rumi quote to honor Master Jerry Wellick, who is always giving us quotes. And that is, my head is bursting with the joy of the unknown. My heart is expanding 1,000-fold. Let me say that again. My head is bursting with the joy of the unknown. My heart is expanding 1,000-fold. The joy of the unknown. And one of the biggest lessons I have learned from Spring Forest Qigong is to allow myself to be surprised by joy. Just because I'm having a bad day or a bad moment does not mean that joy has ceased to exist in the universe. And so when I get up in the morning and go outside or drive or come here or talk to you, I give myself permission to be surprised by joy, because there's elements of joy everywhere. And when we open our hearts and minds to look for them, we become different people. We don't know where we're going to see the joy, but it's there. Always.
So I hear you talking, Nancy, about really opening up yourself to be surprised by joy. What is your purpose in life, then gets you oriented toward opening yourself up to what could happen. Your mindset, I could be surprised. So many things could happen. If I have a closed mind, if I have no purpose, if I have no focus, then we'll be surprised a lot, but maybe not in a way that stimulates our growth and development. So it fits into that idea of having that purpose in life, having a mindset that the joy can be surprising anywhere, anytime. In fact, every moment of our life, we're really sort of facing the unknown. We truly don't really know what's going to happen a minute from now or 10 minutes from now. We can live in fear of that, but we can say, I'm going to live in this moment, and I'm going to be surprised about what's going to happen in the next moment. I will face that unknown a minute from now, 10 minutes from now. I will release my mind from trying to categorize everything. Great job the brain does. Lots of compartments. But I'm going to let my heart, give me the wisdom to explore that unknownness for my own growth, my own purpose, my own strength.
So, in relation to what you just said, this ties in with one of the founding themes of the Heart Wisdom Talks, and that is coming home.
Yeah.
So, by being comfortable with the unknown, we come home to our hearts. We come home to our source. We come home to our purpose. Why are we supposed to be here?
Yeah.
And then in this homecoming, we are comfortable in the unknown, and we allow ourselves to open up to the pure potentiality, to the infinite possibilities that the unknown can offer us.
Beautiful. Do you have any other kind of dangling thoughts you'd like to share? Or otherwise, maybe we can move into a closing meditation or.
I think I've pretty much covered all the points, and I think you've been beautiful backup. Thank you, because some of this was unknown as we started,
Yeah.
and I could have been going.
Yeah. So then, how about leading us into a closing meditation?
Yes, thank you very much. All right, so this meditation ties into the initial image of the canyon that I introduced and that Glenn and I talked about. This is your journey of discovery. Smile. Start my internal love engine. Relax. Drop your shoulders. Take 3 slow, deep, easy breaths. Imagine with me that we are standing on the rim of a giant canyon. It can be anywhere in the universe. It can be on the planet or farther away. Before us stretches a vast emptiness, a nothingness, a void. We cannot see the bottom or the other side. It is unknown to us. Notice, observe, be mindful of your thoughts, your body, your emotions, your spirit. Just notice. Breathe. Smile. Notice those shoulders are softened. You may feel fear or uncertainty, confusion. You may feel overwhelmed. Notice that. Just notice it. This is okay. Invite yourself to shift your perspective. See how that feels. To give yourself permission to explore, discover, grow, and learn. Reflect for a moment on your soul purpose. This may be unknown to you right now. That's okay. But each of us has a soul purpose, and draw from that energy, from that chi. Draw comfort, strength, and courage. Notice, be mindful, and observe how you feel. Feel that you are in the universe and that the universe is in you. Say the password. I am in the universe. The universe is in my body. The universe and I combine together. Call on your master. Feel the presence of your master within every cell of your body. Feel your master in your heart, your spirit, your mind, and your soul. And feel that wherever you are loved, you are significant, and you are intelligent. The emptiness of the canyon is you, and you are the emptiness of the canyon. Look at this emptiness. See it. See what stretches before you. What does it look like? How does it feel to you? See in your mind's eye, in your imagination, a clear night sky, an indigo sky, deep blue, that arches above us, holding trillions and trillions of pinpricks of light of every color of the rainbow. Feel that beauty above and below you. Listen with your heart. What do you hear? Do you hear your heart beating? Do you hear your breath? Do you hear birds rustling in their sleep? Do you hear animals scampering behind you? Do you hear a comet as it shoots across the sky? Listen, hear. Breathe in slowly, gently, and deeply. Smell. What do you smell? The air, water, the earth beneath your feet. Plants, flowers, trees. Can you smell the emptiness? The unknown? Breathe through your mouth. What do you taste? Sweetness? Peace? Trust? Hope? Use your sense of touch. Feel the ground under your feet. Reach out your hand and feel with your fingertips the air, the starlight, the emptiness in front of you. Feel it. Connect with your third eye now, with your intuition, with your soul. What messages are you receiving from the universe, from your master? Give yourself permission to be surprised by joy when you receive these messages. Be surprised by joy. Now take one more slow, deep, easy breath. And then step off the rim of the canyon into the unknown. Feel supported. There's no fear. Feel loved. You are never alone. Feel guided, so there's no chance of us being lost. Step by step, breath by breath, smile by smile, move gently and calmly forward into the unknown. Keep moving. Now, in your journey, you may fly, or you may walk, or you may swim. There are so many ways of progressing into the unknown. You are in a field of infinite possibilities of pure potentiality. Feel the joy of this experience. Feel happiness come into you. And as the happiness enters into your heart, mind, body, and soul, see that any anger or frustration has been transformed and released. Feel the joy in the experience and see that joyfulness transforming hatred and overreaction. Feel peace. We always have peace deep within us, whether we know it or not. And the peace transforms worries and anxiety. Feel contentment, being enough in doing, having, and being. And in the contentment, see that grief and depression are transformed. And finally, feel filled with gratitude for this marvelous experience. And gratitude transforms all fear so that you are able to experience what the unknown has to offer. You become comfortable with its possibilities. Notice what you notice, feel what you feel, but discover, explore, learn, and grow. Enjoy the experience. Have fun, be playful. It's okay. It's okay to be serious, but it's also important to have fun. It's okay not to know as you explore the unknown. We're human beings. We have limitations. We have challenges. It's okay. But as we explore the unknown, we also are energy beings. We are filled with electricity, with vibration, with minerals, with light, with stardust. And finally, we are chi beings. Chi beings who accept the responsibility of being explorers, of being healers, of being lifelong learners. We are creative. In the unknown, we reset, we reboot, and we restore ourselves. In the unknown. And with each step, give thanks. If you wish to continue exploring the unknown, please end this viewing now and move into a quiet place and continue your exploration. When you come back, be sure to journal your experience. And then also end with the closing to ground yourself. But if you are ready to end the meditation with me now, just take another 3 slow, deep, easy breaths. Bring your focus to your lower dantian and see that we have collected a great deal of qi in this meditation. Looking down from above, see it spin clockwise, brighter and brighter, faster and faster, smaller and smaller, until it becomes a tiny energy pill that we tuck deep inside, behind our navels. Always there with us, even when we forget. And give thanks to the universe, to our masters, to Spring Forest Qigong, to the 5 elements, and to the unknown, which offers us so many opportunities to learn and grow. And now, rub your hands together and give your face a nice energy face wash, starting at the chin, going up the nose to the forehead, tracing a heart on your face, and a heart. And then give your ears a nice massage from the top to the bottom, pulling on the earlobes. And you are back to your everyday self, but different. So thank you very much, Master Glenn Tobey. It's been a great honor and privilege playing with you today. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Nancy, for helping us to be comfortable with the unknown, finding that it's another way of knowing, it's another way of loving, and it's another way of healing. We love you. Take care.